Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us is Fed Baradello, founder and CEO of Finalis, to discuss trends in the fintech and M&A industry and where the opportunities are for fintechs in investment banking. Fed, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks so much for having me, Jill.
You got it. And can you share a little bit about your background and what led you to start Finalis?
Absolutely. So my name is Federico Baradello. I'm the founder and CEO of Finalis. I'm a recovering Kirkland & Ellis deal attorney. Spent a number of years in our San Francisco office doing middle market technology company buyouts for private equity fund sponsors like Vista and Silver Lake, and did it long enough to realize that there was a central irony in my day-to-day job, which was that we were doing all of these great tech buyouts, but we were leveraging a 30-year-old tech stack to execute those transactions. And so I saw that there was an opportunity to digitally transform the way that we execute on private market deals.
Tell me about Finalis. How does the platform work?
Yes, absolutely. Finalis is a category creating company. It's the first of its kind private securities brokerage back office as a service platform. And we provide a solution, a back office solution for the long tail of investment banks, placement agencies, and independent deal makers across the United States.
What do you see as the major challenges and opportunities in fintech today?
I think, one of the real challenges that we're observing is this constant balance between a fintech maintaining high growth and not burning relationships with the regulator. One of the things that we've identified is that this is oftentimes framed as a false choice. I think some of the problems that we've seen, whether it's with the GameStop fiasco, with Robinhood, or some of the challenges relating to fraudulent accounts with PayPal, are connected to this notion that many fintechs are pursuing growth at all costs while not necessarily maintaining their compliance back office in good order. And we actually think that's a false choice. And so one of the things that we've prioritized early on is a very strong and robust relationship with the regulator.
What trends are you seeing in the fintech and M&A industry?
Yeah, absolutely. If you would have asked me that question a month ago, I would have said that we would have expected M&A markets to be as active in 2022 as they were in 2021. I'm not so sure we can make that prognostication today. Obviously, we're watching developments in the Ukraine very closely and its impact, obviously, on the energy markets. As with any major global conflict, uncertainty can create a real dampening effect on the M&A market. So we're watching that closely. As it relates to technology, I think there's probably three key observations that I'll call out. The first is that virtual M&A is here to stay. 3 years ago, it would have been unthinkable that you'd be conducting an M&A transaction 100% in the cloud. That's not true anymore. And we at Finalis think that we're playing an active role in bringing the M&A process fully into the cloud. The second thing I'll point out is the shifting regulatory environment. We're seeing regulators across the US and globally take a far more active interest in M&A, particularly as it relates to technology companies. And finally, I would note what we've observed on our own platform, which is an increased focus on environmental, social, and governance type transactions as financial sponsors seek to rebalance their portfolios to differentiate themselves from others.
And what can you tell me about the current state of labor shortages in investment banking and how it relates to larger fintech trends in banking? In other words, how is this phenomenon opening opportunities for fintechs with investment banking?
Yeah, I would connect that observation to a general demographic shift that we're seeing in the industry. Many millennials and Gen Zers don't necessarily want to suit up and go to Wall Street. They want to be able to work for themselves and have much more agency in their day-to-day jobs. I think this is a problem that's not necessarily solved by throwing money at it, which is oftentimes what the large bulge bracket banks choose to do. And we're seeing many more upstart boutique investment bankers that maybe have several years of experience on Wall Street that want to set up their own boutique investment banks. And we at Finalis are in a position to help them do that.
All right. And finally, Fed, what's on the horizon for Finalis?
Yeah, so one of the new developments and products that we'll be rolling out over the course of the next several months is an environment that's called a mandate marketplace. It's basically an exchange environment that not only connects investment bankers and placement agents with one another with respect to possible collaboration opportunities on deals, but also opens up a portal to corporates so that corporates themselves can connect with Finalis's network of investment banks and placement agencies, which now numbers around 115 across the country.
All right, Fed, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you so much for having me.